On a cold, snowy morning in February 1855, the residents of Devon, England, awoke to a sight that would confound and intrigue them for generations. The mysterious tracks that appeared in the snow that morning have since become one of the most baffling enigmas in history. Welcome to this new episode of Weird But True titled, When the Devil Walked in Devon. Today we will explore the true story of what has been recorded in history as the Devil's Footprints. To understand the mystery of the Devil's Footprints, it's crucial to examine the historical documentation. The event was covered by several contemporary sources, including books, newspapers, letters, and personal accounts. Local newspapers played a significant role in documenting the event. The Illustrated London News reported extensively on the Devil's Footprints, providing illustrations and detailed descriptions. The Exeter Flying Post also reported on the phenomenon, detailing the tracks and local reactions. These newspapers' coverage highlighted the fear and speculation surrounding the event. Correspondence from local residents, such as Reverend Henry Thomas Ellacombe, was also important in documenting the footprints and their strange characteristics. All these historical sources highlight the fact that this mysterious phenomenon was real and not the product of a single person's fervid imagination. But let's finally delve into the story and the baffling details of these mysterious footprints. On the morning of February 9, 1855, Devon was blanketed in a thick layer of snow. The tranquility of the morning was interrupted when residents discovered strange tracks in the snow. These tracks were reported across a vast area, stretching between 40 and 100 miles. The footprints were described as being about 4 inches long and 2.5 inches wide, resembling hooves. The footprints were set 8 to 16 inches apart, were mostly in a single file, and had a convex surface in its center. The tracks appeared to traverse diverse terrains, including a 2 miles wide river and steep inclines. Most intriguingly, they appeared to go through various obstacles, such as walls or haystacks, without leaving any marks on top, which added to the mystery of their origin. The consistency of the footprint pattern across such varied landscapes was noted by many observers. Eyewitnesses provided detailed accounts of the footprints. Reverend Henry Thomas Ellacombe of Clyst, St. George, wrote about how the tracks resembled those of a donkey's shoes, but in single file. They passed through his garden, up the sides of his house, and even across snow-covered rooftops. His description, along with others, painted a clear picture of the track's strange and disturbing nature. Among other things, he also noted how the footprints weren't always continuous, but could suddenly appear in the middle of a field. But who or what left these mysterious footprints? Various theories have been proposed to explain the Devil's Footprints. Some suggested that the tracks were a hoax, possibly created using stilts or a mechanical device. However, the length and consistency of the trail, combined with the odd locations of the footprints, such as rooftops, makes this explanation implausible. Another theory proposed that the tracks could have been made by animals, such as badgers, foxes, cats, otters, hopping mice, toads, or birds. But no known animals in the area were found to match the unique footprint pattern and behavior. The possibility of an escaped kangaroo was also suggested, but no evidence of such an animal was found. Unusual weather conditions were considered, with some proposing that thawing and refreezing snow might have created the strange formations. However, this theory struggles to explain the precise shape and uniformity of the tracks. Given the perplexing nature of the tracks, many turned to supernatural explanations. Some believed that the devil himself had visited Devon, leaving behind his infernal footprints as he roamed the countryside. This belief was rooted in 19th century superstitions and fears. The hoof-like nature of the prints and their seemingly impossible path fueled such fears. At the time, the devil was often depicted with hooves, and according to some accounts, the snow looked melted under the footprints, as if touched by a hot iron. The community's reaction was one of intrigue and concern. Public meetings were held to discuss the phenomenon, and local correspondents captured the widespread curiosity and unease. Residents were captivated by the mystery, though they remained unsettled by the unexplained tracks, and some were afraid to leave their home after sunset. Despite numerous investigations and theories, the true nature of the Devil's Footprints remains one of history's most enduring mysteries. Over a century later, author Geoffrey Household proposed that the tracks had been left by the trailing shackles attached to the mooring ropes of a stray experimental balloon. But if this was the case, then the balloon would have likely been caught in one of the many obstacles and trees in the footprints path, which didn't happen. It is also unlikely that the trailing shackles wouldn't occasionally leave distinctive drag marks, especially when hitting obstacles such as walls, haystacks, or houses. But such drag marks were never reported, making this theory unconvincing. Whether a natural phenomenon, a hoax, a stray balloon, or something beyond our understanding, the mysterious footprints continue to intrigue and perplex. The story remains a symbol of the unknown, a reminder of how easily our understanding can be challenged by the inexplicable. What do you think left the devil's footprints? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you for joining us in exploring one of history's most enigmatic mysteries. Please like and subscribe with all notifications on so that you won't miss any of our stories of the unexplained. Until next time.